Day I'm hustling, 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 hustling,
It's your
hustling,
boy
hustling,
Ski.
hustling, 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 hustling. Every
Oh, welcome back. Uh-oh. Let's try this again. What is going on? Okay, we're good. My thing froze. Welcome back to the Matrix. You're not just in the Matrix, you are the Matrix. How's it feel, Neo? And today we got ourselves a banger daily market news and analysis. If you're new here, make sure you guys hit that bell icon, subscribe so you never miss a video. And if you're watching on TikTok, drop a follow. If you're watching live, spam that like button, hit the share so other people can spam that like button and hit the share. Let's bring the action. Top story: Bitcoin makes a new all-time high. Retail peeps. Retail is silent. Nothing from retail. No one cares. Disbelief. Hated. All-time high. All right. You love to see it. All right. This is a massive deal. Okay. Texas House officially passes Strategic Bitcoin Reserve. SB 2021. It's hard to overstate how big of a deal this is. In my mind, the biggest possible thing that can happen for Bitcoin and cryptocurrency is A, the United States passes Bitcoin Strategic Reserve, where they're actually buying 1 million Bitcoin, right? B would be like a Chinese Bitcoin Strategic Reserve. And then like maybe fourth or fifth down the list is Texas passing a Bitcoin Strategic Reserve. It has officially passed the House. It's hard to overstate, again, how big of a deal this actually is.
Members, today is a pivotal moment in securing Texas's leadership in the digital age with the passage of our strategic Bitcoin reserve. Now we embrace a modern asset with traditional properties but future promise. This reserve not only strengthens our fiscal sovereignty but positions Texas as a forward-thinking state prepared for the evolution of global finance. I move passage.
Question occurs on final passage of Senate Bill 21. This is a record vote. The clerk will ring the bell. Show Mr. Capriglione voting aye.
Massive deal. The bill passed Wednesday by a vote of 101 to 42 as it took the next step in becoming a state law. Specifically, it will reach Abbott's desk, to which he will either grant its signature or veto it into legislation. If it passes, Texas will join Arizona, New Hampshire as the only states with laws allowing the formation of a strategic Bitcoin reserve. Again, it's like the United States, China, a couple other countries, and then Texas. Texas would be like the size of France, okay? It's hard to understate how big of a deal this actually is. Okay? It's a big freaking deal. And speaking of big freaking deal, Bitcoin surpasses Amazon to become the 5th largest asset in the world. In the world. Crazy. And with that, let's get into the charts in crypto. By the way, yesterday when I did the Solnic staking, I can do another demo on that. It is working. It is live. We're updating the 90 days right now. It is working. It is live. We have not registered it. We need to register the domain with Solana and Phantom so that it is a trusted domain. We're still working on that, so that's why it will say that. So you could just wait until we do that, or you could do it now. It is live right now. We're just, it's still in beta though. Okay, so big deal. Bitcoin right now, as of the time of recording, sitting at $108,578. It is May 21st, 2025. And again, the most hated rally, the most disbelief, retail. I'm live right now. We got 65 viewers. Retail does not care. They do not care at all. And I want to put things in perspective for you guys. When the first time that Bitcoin broke above $100,000, no joke, we were literally looking at it minute by minute, candle by candle, live streaming the events. We were so excited, so ecstatic when it was at $100,000 for the first time. Now that we've made an all-time high. Nothing from nobody. Nothing from nobody. And people are talking out of both sides of their mouth, in my opinion. They say 4-year cycle's over. See you in 4 years. Worst bull market of all time. Going to be the worst bear market of all time. You can't have both. Okay, but let me tell you what I think is actually happening. Bitcoin dominance, in my opinion, is on the UTAD. For everyone saying, no Altseason, it's canceled. Institutions canceled Altseason. As if Solana ETF is not about to be approved. As if XRP ETF is not about to be approved. As if ADA ETF is not about to be approved. In what fantasy world are we living? Just any narrative. Okay. Like, it's the meme, like, you just pull off the back and you put in a new chip. ETFs canceled. Altseason. 4-year cycle over. Institutions canceled Altseason. Like, what world are we living in? What world are we living in? As if Solana ETF is not about to be approved. As if ADA ETF is not about to be approved. As if XRP ETF is not about to be approved. What world are we living in? Here's the world I live in. Facts and reality. And facts and reality say Bitcoin dominance, in my opinion, is working on Wyckoff distribution. And we've been talking about this. This is the buying climax. This is your textbook up thrust, which goes higher than the buying climax. What stipulations do we need to get a real deal Altseason? Do we get the heat from the sun at nighttime? Somebody answer me. Do we get the heat from sun time? Do we get the heat from the sun at night? No, we do not. Stipulation number 1, Bitcoin must be making an all-time high. When are we going to get the heat of altcoin season? When the sun rises. Guess what? The sun has risen. He has risen. He has risen. The sun has rose. Bitcoin's at an all-time high. Check. That's number 1. Number 2. Bitcoin dominance must be falling off a cliff. Okay, that is not a check yet, but do we have the setup for that? I would argue, yes, we do. Yes, we do. Buying climax, up thrust textbook goes higher than the buying climax. UTAD textbook goes higher than the up thrust. That is literal textbook Wyckoff accumulation. What am I talking about? Or excuse me, distribution. Distribution marks a top. Why was I so certain April 7th, 2025 that the bottom was in? It was because of accumulation, which is the bottom. Distribution is the opposite of a top. It is the opposite of a bottom. It is a top. You have a buying climax that goes higher. Up thrust goes higher than the buying climax. UTAD goes higher than the up thrust. When we zoom in and we look at this, the first thing you get is a big plunge right here. Then you get a retrace to the 618,702, somewhere in that neighborhood. In my opinion, Bitcoin dominance is right here. Literally right there. The next thing that I want to see for confirmation is making a lower low. So, big plunge after the UTAD. Retrace 618,702. In my opinion, that is exactly where we're at. Let me point it out exactly. Literally, the candle that we are at. I don't know if you can see my mouse. Right here. Right here is where we are at, in my opinion, for Bitcoin dominance. And I have further evidence of this. When I look at Ethereum, I've been saying Ethereum is a beat or two behind Bitcoin. Same exact structure, same exact setup, and we've also had a confirmed bear trap. We've talked about this yesterday. We talked about the confirmed bear trap. This was a bear trap. Traders will draw the line in the sand and they will say, "We'll go if we go right here, we're cooked." The market makers take the market right there, and they're like, "Aha, nana boo boo." That's a bear trap. We had a higher high, a higher low, a higher high, a higher low. Okay? And what I've been saying is Bitcoin is a beat or two behind, or excuse me, Ethereum is a beat or two behind Bitcoin. On the top is Ethereum. On the bottom is Bitcoin. Same setup, same structure. Same. Let's put it on the 5 hour so it really looks the same. Same time frame. Okay? You have your markdown, accumulation, bottoming structure, accumulation, bottoming structure. Break the downtrend, chopping sideways. One leg higher, chopping sideways again at the sign of strength. You start making higher highs and higher lows. Break up, chop sideways again, break higher again. In my opinion, Ethereum is about a beat and a half behind Bitcoin. So what's next for Ethereum? Going to 3,300. Do you know what Ethereum going to 3,300 is going to do for Bitcoin dominance? Astronomical. I'm telling you. Someone in the comment says, when Altseason. I'm telling you right now. It kicks it off with Ethereum going to 3,300. That's the next thing. It is just a beat or two behind Bitcoin. Okay, Bitcoin is the sun. The sun has risen. It is 7:30 in the morning. We see the sun. We don't feel the heat yet. We're there, though. We know it's going to be a sunny day. All right. The DXY still getting pummeled. Everything is there. We have a perfect storm. We've talked about this. We've been talking about this. Gold, in my opinion, has topped out. This is reverse of... We don't want this thing going parabolic. This is now working on distribution, in my opinion, and is on a downtrend. DXY broke through 5 years of support and got rejected. What was support became resistance. That's a very good thing. Okay? In my opinion, when we look at the total market cap, we're already past the 702. What have I told you guys 100 times? The 702 is the decider. Do you go parabolic or do you get rejected? We have broken above it. This looks like a clean breakout at this point. So in my opinion, minimum we're going to double top 3.7, but in all likelihood, the next medium term move is about 4.5 trillion for the total market cap. What does that look like for others and the total 2, the total 3? Retail is not paying attention. They are asleep at the wheel. This got some catching up to do to catch up to the 702. You're talking about the total 3 getting to 987. That's the next medium term move in my opinion. So in my opinion, Bitcoin is the sun is risen. He is risen. And on the third day, he is risen. Okay? The next thing is to feel the heat from the sun. It's 7:30 in the morning. We don't feel the heat yet. We know it's daytime, though. We know it is daytime. Why do we know it's daytime? Because Bitcoin is at an all-time high. Because, in my opinion, Bitcoin dominance is working on distribution. Confirmation of Bitcoin dominance being at distribution is going to be rolling over at the 702 and then coming back to 62%. That would be confirmation. Boom. Bada bing, bada boom. Retail's asleep at the wheel. If you're watching not live, subscribe. If you're watching live, spam that like button, hit the share. Let's get into your guys' questions, comments, concerns. All right. Drop the heater on y'all. LFG. Hey, bro, how high do you think Virtual's protocol will go? J.O., bro, chill. Retail is saying double top, too easy. It's crazy how bad sentiment is. I know, you would think we're at 60K right now. You would think that we're at 60K right now. It's crazy how terrible sentiment from retail is. We just made an all-time high. You would not know it. If you go on Twitter, you would think it's FTX just collapsed. That's what you would think. What's the website for staking Solnic? The website for staking Solnic is stakingsolniccoin.io. I'll put it in the YouTube chat. It's still being worked through. It's still in beta. All right, let's look at the TikTok. All right. Why does Bitcoin dominance have to go down? Is it a guarantee that it has to go down? At some point, yes, it is a guarantee. At some point, it will go down because it can't go to 100%. It's not going to go parabolic. People need to do their own research. I agree. $20 by July. I think that that's reasonable. I'm just ready for some fun again. Been too long. I've been having a great time, bro. Money has to flow. Doesn't mean it'll fall off a cliff, though. What'll fall off a cliff? We are still early. Any view on MicroStrategy lagged on Bitcoin today? What do you mean by that? Alts ain't gonna move, brother. Okay, good. Hey, Ski, thanks for the regular updates. Thank you, Ant. I appreciate you. Link and ADA not moving all crazy. They will. Not boring until it is not. Boring until it is not. Is Crow cooked? I don't think Crow is cooked. What's the percentage did Bitcoin dominance go to before dropping in 2021? Okay. This is where people are talking out of both sides of their mouth, right? They say, you know, millions of new coins. But then Bitcoin dominance is going to make a new all-time high. So Bitcoin dominance was higher, but it's not going to go higher because there's too many coins. So it was at 73 was the peak. Crow predictions, $1, $2. 69 cents is the retracement. Edward says, so hit 118, then sell in May or ride until we moon. Okay, Edward, thank you for the question. I wish I would have talked about this in the video, but I forgot. I have been on the fence about, is it going to be sell in May, go away, or is it going to be buy in May, fly away? I've been on the fence. I've been in a wait and see. We're going to wait and see what that means. I have waited. I have seen. Bitcoin is at a new all-time high, and I have bear market views. Retail does not care. What does that mean? When retail cares, it's over. I have waited, I have seen. In my opinion, this is going to be buy in May, fly away. This is going to be, in my opinion, and listen, I'm going to put it out there. Full disclosure, time is not my expertise. Structure is my expertise, okay? Let me just disclaim. But in my opinion, just sentiment, where retail is at. Bitcoin's at an all-time high today. Sentiment. You would not know it. That's a good sign. In my opinion, there's a very, very strong argument to say this is going to be the craziest summer that crypto has ever gotten. What's my next DCA sell targets for Bitcoin? I think 118, I'll probably take a little bit off the table for Bitcoin. But I'm going to start being a little bit more aggressive around 138 and then 207. So that's my low, medium, high. 118, 138, 207. And again, I don't think Bitcoin's the play here, right? I've already made my positions on Bitcoin. Where's Bitcoin pulling back to? Bitcoin's in a breakout. Bitcoin has broken out. Right? Bitcoin, in my opinion, is in the full-on markup phase. Okay, what do I mean by that? This is phase A, markup. It's in the full-on markup phase. There's going to be some micro dips, sure. It has broken out, though. It has broken out. I have been saying for literal weeks, any dips that we get are for buying, period. I've been saying that for weeks. Here's what I'm talking about. Accumulation is the bottom. Markup, in my opinion, we have started this. We're in the middle of the markup for Bitcoin. The alts are still mostly here because why? Bitcoin goes first. Bitcoin goes first. That's the deal. You don't get the heat from the sun until the sun rises. That's the deal. I don't make the rules. In my opinion, alts are still in accumulation. Bitcoin has officially started the markup. Are there going to be dips? Are there going to be pullbacks? Absolutely. But generally, we are in an uptrend. Generally, we are in an uptrend. Also, even in the micro, this was a bull flag and it broke out of this bull flag. I thought we were going to 50K. Is 50 cents price target for TAR's AI reasonable? What about August dump? You're predicting? I mean, August would be the end of the summer. Let's see how hot we get there, Panka. That's the truth. I want to see how hot we get there. For saying that, because I've been saying that for weeks. What have you been saying for weeks? I think Bitcoin retraces in the bear market, but fear I missed out and it never comes back down. Do you agree we can buy Bitcoin in the bear market under 100K? I think that that's reasonable. Yeah, I think so, but I think definitely I think that that's reasonable. Edward, thank you for the $1.99 donation, brother. I appreciate you, you savage.
But the cream.
Can you do Dogecoin? My
oh yeah.
Dogecoin is $1 to $2. Flux still $5. Yes, $5 to $13 for Flux. ETH, I just went over ETH. It's a beat or two behind Bitcoin. I think minimum it retraces to 3,300, which is going to kick off proper alt season. Can you check Rose chart? Rose is in the spring, in my opinion. Macro spring for Rose, in my opinion. XRP. Thoughts on WorldCoin? I don't have any thoughts on WorldCoin. Panka, thank you for the hat and mustache. Yeehaw! China, thanks for the rose. Pats, thank you for the donut. Scott, thank you for the level up. Pats, thanks for the heart world, the donut, the heart, hand heart. Thank you for the popular and the heart, you savages.
But the cream will rise to the top. Oh yeah.
What about your price predictions for Solnick? My price predictions for Solnick. Solnick is my number one 100x play, period. And by the way, let me do Rose real quick, and then I'll do Solnick, and then I'll do virtuals. Where is my Rose? Let me do Rose real quick. By the way, Solnick is in a wedge that it's been in for a long time, and it appears to be breaking out of that wedge. Here's a quick update on Rose, though, because I'm going to get distracted here. In my opinion, it's in the spring. It just got the spring, and you get your test, and then your move higher. This is what I'm talking about. What in the world? Ah. Hold on. Here we go. Selling climax, secondary test in phase B goes lower than the selling climax. Okay? Selling climax, secondary test in phase B goes lower. Then you have the spring, which textbook goes lower Then the selling climax, you move up, get your test. Move up, get your test. Move higher, test again. Move higher, test again. In my opinion, Rose is probably somewhere in there. Okay. All right. Solnic. My number one. Where can you buy Solnic? The easiest way is on Phantom Wallet. Buy Solana, swap it on Phantom Wallet. Solnic is my number one 100x play. We just dropped staking. Staking just went live. We're still working on the stable coins. We are still working on the documentary, BYOB, Be Your Own Bank. It's been in this wedge, making higher highs, higher lows. It's been in this wedge for a long time, and it looks to be breaking out. My targets for Solnic are 10 cents low, $1 medium, 5.89 bull. Bitcoin at an all-time high, and retail isn't here yet. Facts, bro. That's facts. All right, let's look up virtuals for my man Rex has been asking. The whole stream. Remember the Gmail wallet. The Gmail wallet will be any day now. I'm not sure when they're going to be done with that, but it should be any day. You're going to be able to buy Solnic with a Gmail. Period. All right, let's check out virtuals. Okay, I don't mind this. This looks like the sign of strength here. I don't know what the inflation on this is. The chart looks pretty decent, though. Let's see what the inflation is. Okay, market cap 1.28 billion, FDV 1.96. Okay, so a decent bit of inflation. So I would be cautious around the retracement, which is about $3.50 to $3.90. If it wants to go to parabolic, you're looking at $7 to $12. Flux still $5. Yes, $5 to $13. Jo, thanks for the $1.99 donation, you savage.
But the cream will rise to the top, oh yeah.
VeChain hits low target at this 118K. Depends on what Ethereum's doing. Rose lowest is the retracement, which is 30 something cents. 35 cents. What up, Ski? I watch you on YouTube every night. Can you tell me the retracement on Suki? I appreciate your support, brother. Thanks for the money gun, you savage.
But the cream will rise to the top, oh yeah.
All right, bear retracement is 18 cents. Macro retracement, I would take profit here, and then is 88 cents. ICP retracement 35. Can you look at Peanut things? Laughably, Peanut low-key has a good looking chart to me. This is accumulation, sign of strength, backtest of your prior range. The next thing is going to be your retracement, which is 140. Now, I'm not saying tomorrow or next whatever, but that's the next thing. $5 is the parabolic. How confident are you your top coins will at least retrace? Very confident. 1 minute Bitcoin 12K, ETH 1200. When do you think ETH will catch up? I think ETH is going to catch up super soon. I am long on ETH right now. I think it's about a beat and a half behind. So this could be a couple of days, it could be a couple of weeks. But I think in like that time frame, I don't want to put a time frame on it, to be honest, but very soon. In the short term, I think Ethereum's going to catch up. Thank you for the hat and mustaches, you savage. Yeehaw!
But the cream will rise to the top. Oh, yeah.
Solana. Hey, Ski. What's up, fam? My low case for Solana is 420. Medium is 510. Bull case is 600. What phase is Matic in? Matic is still in accumulation. Let me make sure I didn't miss nobody. Also, can you define ETH catching up? I know you say 3,300 can pass that. Think it can pass that? Yes, absolutely. I think it can pass that, but that's the minimum, and that's the minimum to start things off. Right? Reasonably, I think that my medium case target for Ethereum is 7,200. Solnic is my number one 100x play. Period. ZBEC, I don't mind ZBEC's chart. Little bit of inflation on ZBEC. VeChain, my targets are 20 cents, 40 cents, 60 cents. Low, medium, high. You're awesome, man. Keep putting out content. Much appreciated. I appreciate you, brother. And if you're new here, I go live every single day, 6 days a week. I upload shorts, 4 to 6 shorts a day, every single day. I put out 10 to 20 minute videos every single day. I'm constantly putting out content. I put my track record against anybody. Most recently, April 7th, 2025. I said the bottom's in video evidence. Bitcoin was at 74K. I said we're going minimum to 100K. And then the next stop is 118. Just 40 days ago. I put in a long. Thoughts on XPR Proton Network? Avalanche. I think 300. How about HBAR? I like HBAR long term. What would be a reasonable time to take profits on Solnic? My targets for Solnic are 10 cents. That is my bear case scenario. In fact, I have a bet that it will reach 7.5 cents or I will shave my beard. Medium case is $1. Bull case is $5.89. Monero. Low-key, okay, the one thing that Bare Naked says that I'm like, okay, I think there's some truth to that. He says that Monero is the real Bitcoin. As in, like, what Bitcoin was intended to be. I would agree with that. And I think that the technology of Monero is a little bit underrated. It's going to be really hard for Monero to go, like, super parabolic, though, because they don't want you to buy it, so you're not going to find it readily on exchanges, right? They're not going to pump that because the whole point is, like, you can't trace your transactions. So they're not going to be promoting that, as in the real players. They don't want that. So I think it's going to be hard to go parabolic. But I think that, like, what Bitcoin was supposed to be, I think Monero could make a real argument that it does. That being said, like, it's already at the 702 right now. So either it's going to get rejected and come back, or it's going to break out. It's at the deciding moment right now. So coming back is 35% correction. Breaking out, going parabolic, if it wants to do it, that's about a 2.2x. It had a long period of accumulation, though, which is I like to see that. The longer you accumulate, the stronger the floor is. I don't think that Monero is going to be life-changing money, but I think that there's some gains to be made. And I like the project. I like the ability to have privacy. Are we about to go bananas? Yep. Boring, boring, boring until it is not. Jordan, thanks for the galaxy, bro.
But the cream will rise to the top. Oh, yeah.
NCT. What do I see Link hitting? Bear case $38. I'm in a long on okay, I like this chart. This has the same chart as ADA, same chart as Link, same chart as VeChain. Very good looking chart. I don't know what the inflation on this is. I feel like we've done this dance before. Let me come back to Link after this. Okay, so it's fully diluted. So yeah, this looks really good to me. This has the same chart. It already did a full retracement. So the next thing would just be price discovery, 25 cents. And then parabolic would be 55 cents. Can NCT hit a dollar ski? Listen, I'm not mad at that target, but I don't think that that's reasonable. Right? That's not probable. Is it plausible? Yeah, that's plausible. Like, you could talk me into that, but I don't think that in a, you know, a probable realm that that's realistic. So 55 cents to me is like the highest threshold of reasonable, realistic. Theta Network. I like Theta. I'm in a long in Theta right now. Theta is one of my top blue chips right here. Okay. Thank you for the money gun, you savage. Link targets. All right. Link has this same chart, which, by the way, is the same chart that I'm looking for, period. If you could find this chart in a blue chip, that is the chart. Okay? So we'll pull up Link. On the top is NCT, which is what we just went over. It doesn't really matter though, but Link has the same thing too, right? Where is Link? Where are you? VeChain has the same chart. Link has the same chart. Here we go. And we have the keys to the castle. We already have the outcome of this chart. What does this chart look like? How does this chart end up? Okay, we already know. We know the answer. We know the answer to the test. Okay, if you've been following me, you already know. I've already been covering this like crazy. Okay, on the top is NCT, but you could replace it with ADA. You could replace it with VeChain. You could replace it with a lot of the market. They all look the same. Why do they all look the same? Because they're all going to do the same thing at the same time. Why do they all look the same? Because they're all going to do the same thing at the same time. Okay? What do you have here? You have your markdown. Okay, so this is NCT from 2021 through present, Link from 2021 through present, Bitcoin from 2013 through 2017. And this is the structure. This is the answer. Okay, this shows us what this structure, how does this structure play out? Okay, so you have your markdown, your markdown, your markdown, accumulation, bottoming structure, accumulation, boring bottom, accumulation, boring bottom. Sign of strength marks firmly that the bottom is over. Backtest of the prior range, backtest of the prior range, move higher than the sign of strength. Okay. Move higher than the sign of strength. Move higher than the sign of strength. Move higher than the sign of strength. Backtest of the prior range, backtest of the prior range, backtest of the prior range, reaccumulate, reaccumulate, and then you start to chop up. You start to chop up, you start to chop up. Okay, almost most of the market is right here. Most of the market is right here, in my opinion. And here's the end of the story. And here's the end of the story. And here's the end of the end of the story. The story. Somebody slap that CD player. Here's the end of the story. Here's the end of the story. Somebody slap the CD player. Here's the end of the story. The story is still going. The story. Somebody slap the CD player. My target's for ICP, or excuse me, my target's for Chainlink, which has the same structure. Low case, $38. Medium case, $78. Bull case is $178. You think Bitcoin dominance drops to let them run? Yes, I do. Okay, let's start with Bitcoin. Let me show, because this has to do with your question. Okay. April 7th, 2020. I promise you all of this, I'm going to loop back around to it. It all has to do. So buckle up, take notes. I'm about to drop some gems for free. Okay? Take notes. Get your notebook, pen and paper. Okay? April 7th, 2025. I said the bottom's in, boys. Video evidence, documented. Go look at the video. It's still up. Bottom's in. Bitcoin was at 74.4. Why did I say the bottom's in? Was I... Nope. I said that because of Wyckoff accumulation. What is Wyckoff accumulation? Wyckoff accumulation measures... What does it measure? It measures the bottom. So you have your selling climax. Your secondary test goes lower than the selling climax. Traders will be like, aha, downtrend. Look at the line. Spring goes lower than the secondary test in phase B. Ah, downtrend. Look at the line. That's what traders will say. That's what traders will do. That's what we had. Selling climax, secondary test in phase B. Spring goes lower than all of that. That's the bottom. Period. It's done. Okay. So April 7th, 2025, I made a video. Bottoms in, boys. Here's why. XYZ. I went over that. And then I said, next thing, sign of strength is going to take us to where? 100K. Where did we go to? 100K. That is the sign of strength. And then I said the mark E. What is the mark E? The mark E, the phase E, is the bull run. The leg higher. I said that would take us minimum to 118. That's what we're working on right now. So let's bring it all back. Bitcoin dominance. What is the stipulation for altcoins? Step number 1, Bitcoin must be making an all-time high. Check. Step number 2, Bitcoin dominance must be falling. All right, so let's circle back. We have check number 1. Now, what is the opposite of accumulation? The opposite of accumulation is distribution. Okay, and if you have a downtrend for accumulation, that means you have an uptrend for distribution. Buying climax, upthrust textbook goes higher than the buying climax. UTAD textbook goes higher than the upthrust. This is textbook. I did not make the text. I did not create the text. I am just regurgitating it for you. Here you go. Buying climax. This is the top. Distribution. Buying climax. Upthrust. Textbook goes higher than the buying climax. UTAD. Textbook goes higher than the upthrust. What will traders do? Aha! Look at the uptrend. Nana boo boo. Stick your face in doo doo. UTAD is the reverse of a spring. Then what do you get? You get a little plunge. Then you get a retrace about to the 618702 Fibonacci retracement. In my opinion, Bitcoin dominance is literally right here, right there, right there. Let me show you. UTAD, you get your first plunge, retrace to the 618/702, somewhere in there. Though that is right there, right there. That's where we are, in my opinion. What is next? Would be a lower low. That would be confirmation that phase C is what I say it is. What would that be to 62%? And then how would we map out the rest of it? Then you're going to get your LPS, your sign of weakness, and you're just going to keep rolling over, and you're going to get your phase E in distribution, which is what we call a bear market. But in Bitcoin dominance, that is a beautiful thing. In my opinion, phase E takes us low 50s, high 40s. Wyckoff on Bitcoin dominance. How does that make any sense? What do you think Wyckoff is, brother? Do you know that Wyckoff was created 100 years ago by Richard D. Wyckoff? Wyckoff measures a top and a bottom. I'm telling you, I'm measuring a top. What do you mean? How does it make sense? Oh, man. All right, let's look at some of the YouTube chat. William Watson, your boy said we're gonna crash. Listen. How can I say this? There are some people that are known for news, and there are some people that are known for TA. Right? William Watson, I think, is excellent at updating market news. Maybe the best in the game. Okay? Come on, Ski. They aren't they tired of you being right? I don't know. Whack off accumulation, bro. Chill. He also does TA. Again. I cover news too. I'm not the news channel. You hear what I'm saying? I laugh at the news. I cover it. I'll make videos about it. That's not what my channel is. That's not what I'm good at. I do TA and the news. I'm not good at news. All right. All right, 140K next week. I don't know about that. Love for it to happen, though. My wife's boyfriend said Link's going to 125. Does dominance matter with ETF? Dominance matters with ETF. 74K is bottom Wyckoff bull run. How long? How you not long 74.6 Bitcoin double bottom? I did long. I didn't get in at 74.4 because I wasn't home because it was quick. I think I got in at 78K. I did long. I longed on Ethereum at that day, April 7th. I longed on Bitcoin that day. I longed on a lot of stuff that day. I longed on Aave. My Aave trade is up like 300% off 3x. Off 3x. What's good, everyone? Gavzat, thanks for the roses, you savage.
But the cream will rise to the top, oh yeah.
F it, I'm holding NCT to $1. Damn it. What's your opinion on Bitcoin stock miners? I'm biased. I'm perhaps the wrong person to ask this question because I'm biased, right? Because I have Bitcoin mining operation. It's a lot smaller than it used to be because I sold a lot of the equipment, but yeah, I'm not going to invest in other people's company, but me personally, I would rather just have the Bitcoin. Personally, I think it's the same of like gold mining companies versus gold. Personally, I would rather just have the gold. I would rather just have the Bitcoin. That might be the wrong way of thinking. I think that there's perhaps more upside, maybe. But I think that ultimately, like, you have a lot stronger chance of a Bitcoin mining company going out of business versus, like, Bitcoin's not going out of business. A gold mining company might go out of business. Gold is not going out of business. So me personally, I'd rather just have the Bitcoin. I'd rather just have the gold. That might be the wrong philosophy, but that's my philosophy. Jo, thanks for the $1.99 donation.
But the cream will rise to the top. Oh, yeah.
What would ETH need to be for VeChain to get 20 cents? Probably at least 3,300. Maybe 7,200. If Dominance is going to drop, how will Bitcoin reach 118? Ray, that's a great question. And literally, that is the stipulation, right? Bitcoin must be rising as Dominance is falling. That is literally the stipulation. You know what I'm saying? So, this is December 20th. I'm going to just show you. Okay, this is a great question. Okay. I'm going to show you. Because this is literally what needs to happen for Altseason. Okay. So the peak of Bitcoin dominance was December of 20. And we know that was not the peak of Bitcoin, right? So let's go back. Let's make this the same so we can outline this for everyone. Where is December of 20? Right here. Okay. So, these are the same dates, roughly. I didn't make it perfect, but you get the idea. This is the same dates. December of 2020. That is when Bitcoin dominance peaked. Okay? And what I want you to notice, by the way, my God, what just happened? Okay, I'm going to bring this full circle. I just had a crazy boom, another thing, but we're going to talk about one thing at a time. Okay, so by the way, if you can see Bitcoin, as Bitcoin dominance is peaking, what happened? It's barely making an all-time high. The sun must rise. The sun must rise. That is the first equation to getting heat from the sun. What is heat from the sun? Altcoin season. Okay? Right here, we see it. Bitcoin barely makes an all-time high. Bitcoin dominance is peaking. Bitcoin dominance begins to fall, and what does Bitcoin do? Continues to rise. That is the stipulation. That is the ingredients. Sugar, spice, everything nice. Chemical X. That's the ingredients for Altseason. But Calvin Hill said, follow and subscribe. Link to 78. I think so. What side do you use for leverage? JK22. If you check my bio, you can find my link tree. Okay? You'll find my link tree, which has all of my links. Okay? I think the second or third link is BitUnex. If you want to support the channel, I will earn commission. Obviously. But that is the one that I really use in my really life. Okay? I use BitUnex. I like BitUnex. I also use Blowfin, but mostly about 80% of the time I'm using BitUnex. It's no KYC, no VPN. If you use the link in my description, you'll get free crypto and I will earn commission. Full transparency. But I do think that they are a solid I just like it that there's no VPN. You don't need KYC, no VPN. So you just need an email address. I think it's up to $10,000 per day. If you're clearing $10,000 a day in profits, brother, what are you doing watching me? Get out there and teach. You know what I'm saying? If you're clearing $11K a day, don't watch me, go teach. First profit level XYO, the major one is going to be 10 cents. Follow and subscribe. Solnic chart. Solnic chart is looking beautiful. This is my number one 100x play. It's not particularly close. And we're in a huge wedge that's been forming forever. Okay, the entire time, by the way, just higher lows. The entire time. But we have a massive macro wedge, and it looks like we have broken out of this wedge. Okay, that's what it looks like. And that would start the phase E, which is your markup. 115K by next week. I think that that's super plausible. Like, we're at an all-time high. When it's boring until it's not. I'm not necessarily predicting that, but how many weeks between that and all-time high and Bitcoin dominance drop? It was not very many. And that's what I'm saying. Like, Ethereum is just a beat behind Bitcoin. All it's going to take is for Ethereum to catch up to, like, not even fully. I'm not even talking about a double top. I'm not even talking about an all-time high. Ethereum doesn't even need to get to an all-time high. Just a 3,300 is going to be enough to really bring dominance down. Top value plays right now. Solnic. VeChain. Flux. Rose. I think Dynex is a high risk, high reward, but you might put it in there too. I'm getting riled up over here. Do you see 100K Bitcoin in the next pullback from 118? That's plausible. That's plausible. It depends on how hot we get in there. Algo, I think Algo is solid. $2 is my medium case. $8 is my bull case. My top value plays as of the time of recording: Solnic, HNT, Rose, ICP, Shiba, Dent, VeChain, Naka, IOTA, Flux, Theta, Krill, Suki, Raven, Dynex, Dot, LCX, Sauce, Hehe, Crow, Phantom, News, One, XYO, ADA, Link, XNO. Those are my top values. I might add NCT in there, to be honest. I don't know if it's on there or not. It looks pretty good to me, though. Litecoin's going to be up soon. I agree. Generally speaking, Litecoin leads the altcoins. It's one of the altcoin leaders. Ellie, thanks for the heart.
But the cream will rise to the top. Oh yeah.
Thoughts on Sand and Gala? I know that Gala has a lot of inflation. I don't have any interest in Gala. Sand, it has a little bit of inflation. How is altcoin season possible when your price target for Bitcoin is 118? That's my low case. That's just the next destination, right? If we're on a road trip, we're going to start in Florida and we're going to end in California. We're going to stop in Atlanta. We're going to stop in Texas. You know what I mean? That's just the next destination. Make sure you guys drop a follow. Don't just lurk. Drop a follow. Subscribe on YouTube. Sandy says June, the best month of the year 2025. Listen, I'm not arguing with you. Why is alts no? Why are alts not going up? Listen. Do you feel the heat from the sun before or after the sun rises? It is 6:30 in the morning. The sun is peeking through. That's why. Bitcoin's at an all-time high today. Just barely peeking through. The sun is risen. He is risen. Did I get it right? After. Yes. After. But the stipulation is there. We've talked about this. Bitcoin dominance, in my opinion, is working on distribution. Confirmation is going to be rejected here at the 702. The 702 is 64.43%. Rejected at 702, coming back to 62. That would be confirmation. But it dumped after. What are you talking about? Listen, I don't analyze the. If you're looking for me, what's going to happen in the next 17 minutes, this is the wrong channel. If you're looking to me like what's going to happen in the next 17 days, I might have an idea. But I'm really the wrong channel for that. I'm really more like the next 17 weeks. I'm really like the next 17 months. Okay? If you're asking me what's going to happen in the next 17 minutes, you tell me, bro. You tell me. That's not what I do. Big Truck 69 says, I was hacked. 400,000 tokens of hee. I am sick. What cold storage do you recommend? I use Ledger. Listen, I've said it once. I've said it 100 times. If I've said it once, I've said it 100 times. If you have $100 in crypto, your next $100 purchase should be a hardware wallet. It doesn't matter which one you use. They will all work if you use the proper precautions and security. But it is another bottleneck of security. Okay? I use Ledger. I use Decent. Those are the ones I use. Any of them will work. If you have $100 in crypto, your next $100 should be a hardware wallet, in my opinion. I've seen the story to me. I've seen it once. I've seen it 767 times. How do I get my crypto, back, bro? It was wiped. You don't. Tangem is good. Yes, they're all good. They will all work. Listen, they'll all work as long as you don't connect them to weird websites that you're not sure about. I think you should separate your key from the lock. You got your savings, which is in your hardware, and then you got your play around. If you want to mess around with dApps, fine. Have it in some money that you don't care. If you lose it all, if it burns tomorrow, you're not going to be sick. You know what I'm saying? Are there any anti-confluences for altcoin season or potential risk? Potential risk of alt season. I mean, there's always a risk. I don't know about alt season as too macro. I would say like individual, micro. There's going to be different risks for different coins. But I don't know about like macro risk like that. No. It's hard to keep track of your average buys, average cost. Yeah, it is. You think alt season is still coming? Yes. I have never wavered, not one time on that. Never. Here's what I think happened. Okay, you guys want to know what I think happened? Here's what I think happened. Where are we going the next 17 weeks? Bitcoin's going to make a new all-time high, 118K. Ethereum is going to minimum catch to 3,300. Bitcoin dominance is going to fall. There you go. Which is going to cause the altcoins to rise. All right, here's what I think happened. All right, did we break from the 4-year cycle? In some regard, you could make an argument. Here's what happened, in my opinion. Hindsight, right? Bitcoin, in my opinion, made an all-time high too early. That's what really happened. Bitcoin should not have made an all-time high when it made an all-time high. And then the altcoin season got hijacked by Trump. Okay? Short term, this was very bad for altcoins. Long term, I think it's better. Honestly, I think it's better. And this is an apolitical, like, I don't care. But short term, it wiped out $70 billion worth of liquidity. Not great. Long term, it wiped out $70 billion worth of nonsense. And I think that the market's in a much healthier place. I think that people are talking out of both sides of their mouth, though, when they say 4-year cycle is over, see you in 4 years. If you want to tell me the 4-year cycle is over, okay, here's what that means. On the top is Bitcoin in 2021. If you want to tell me the 4-year cycle is over, here's what it means. We're already past accumulation. We're already past FTX going to zero. We're already past Silicon Valley Bank going to zero. We're already past the war in Israel, and we're starting the markup. Okay. Someone said, do you think we get a pullback in the market because indicators dailies are overbought? Listen, we're going to have pullbacks. There's going to be red days. It's not going to be a straight line up. Hear me out, though. Check it out. We were oversold since February. We have been oversold since February. Do you understand? We have been oversold since February. So while, yes, we will have pullbacks. Yes, there's going to be red days. There's going to be red weeks. We were oversold since February, and it took how long to make an all-time high? Okay, that's something, but it's not everything. Nothing equals everything. Everything is something. All the crypto hype broke things a little. It didn't break it. It purged it. There's a difference. Listen. Every run-up on every industry, there is nonsense that happens. It's not real. It's not real players. They're disguising themselves as real players. They're using buzzwords, right? You have AI. There's a lot of AI nonsense that's not real. And they use the buzzwords, and it just passes as the real thing. During the dot-com bubble, there's any dot-com, it's passed off as an internet company, and it's not. It's nonsense. Right? You have memes. They're passed off all as the next great thing. 99% of it was nonsense. Right? It didn't break it. It purged the nonsense. It's a necessary thing. It's not really an all-time high. It's just a dollar depreciation. What do you think the point of Bitcoin is? That's the bet. Here you go. Let me just break it down to you brass tacks. Brass tacks. All right, brass tacks. When you buy Bitcoin, when you buy crypto, Bitcoin, you are betting, you are placing a bet. You are placing a bet. The bet is, I'm going to buy Bitcoin. Thank you, sir. May I have another? What is your bet? I am placing a bet that the United States government will continue to print more money. Okay. If you wait long enough, that's going to be true. I am placing a bet that the Chinese government is going to continue to print more money. I am placing a bet that the Russian government is going to continue to print more money. I am placing a bet that the European Union is going to continue to print more money. Guess what? Read the Bitcoin Standard if you're new to Bitcoin. If you're new to crypto, here's step number 1. Follow your boy. Step number 2. Go on YouTube. Type in youtube.com. I don't know why this comes up every time I type in YouTube. But you're going to type in the Bitcoin Standard. This is a free audiobook. You should invest 11 hours into yourself. Because when you understand why it is you hold what you hold, the 20% dips don't bother you. Because you're playing a game. What is the game? The game is the hardest money wins. Bitcoin is the hardest money that was ever created. And will likely ever be created. Yes, that is, in a nutshell, the entire point. There you go. Listen, you're being scammed. See, like somebody just got red pilled. You're being scammed. The US dollar is a scam. If I bought and if my house right now lost 98% of the value, I would be furious. I would be irate. Are you kidding me? Since 1971, when they removed the US dollar from the gold standard, i.e. every dollar was backed by 1 ounce, every $20 was backed by 1 ounce of gold, that's not what we have anymore. Since that moment in time, the US dollar has lost 98% of the purchasing power. 98%. That's the point of crypto. It's not investment go up, that means great. Investment go down, the point is freedom and sovereignty. The point is having the hardest money that exists, because whoever has the hardest money wins, period. That is the point. Here's another one. I made a video about this. There's a narrative. Real estate is the most unaffordable that it's ever been. Can you believe the average price of a home is $400,000? My God, how are kids going to be able to afford it? Guess what? That's true, but it's not true for the reason you think. I made a video about this. If you measure Bitcoin, or if you measure real estate in the real thing that is value, which is gold. 2,000 years ago, 1 ounce of gold equaled a fine man's suit. Today, 1 ounce of gold equals a fine man's suit. Gold does not change. Gold is just value. Forever. If you measure real estate in gold, you will get the truth. What is the truth? The truth is 1980 was the most affordable decade to ever buy real estate. The average home was less than 100 ounces of gold. Today, right now, real estate is the second most affordable it has ever been since 1971. The average price of the home is 123 ounces of gold. In 1990, it was 300 ounces of gold. In 2000, it was 250 ounces of gold. This is the second most affordable time it's ever been to buy real estate. But it doesn't feel like that because this thing is a scam. The US dollar is a scam. About to have the highest daily candle ever. We already got that. If you're counting bodies. I'm on one tonight. See, some of y'all just woke up. Some of y'all just got red pilled for real. Serious question. Why doesn't the big banks, BlackRock, etc., buy up all of the Bitcoin? What do you think is happening? Watson 1. BlackRock was not a holder of Bitcoin in 2022. What do you think is... BlackRock is now one of the largest holders of Bitcoin. What do you think is happening? Texas just passed the Bitcoin Strategic Reserve. Why did they do that? Why did Arizona pass the Bitcoin Strategic Reserve? Why did New Hampshire pass the Bitcoin Strategic Reserve? It's already happening. That is past tense. I'm not a crypto maxi, I'm a freedom maxi. I buy gold, silver, real estate, insurance. I'm not a crypto maxi, I'm a freedom maxi. I believe in freedom. I did 10 years in the army. People say they'll die for their country. I meant it. I deployed 4 different times, 3 different countries. When I said I will die for freedom, I meant it. Ski scared to buy Rose now. Do you honestly believe? Yes, I think so. Wish I could buy Solnic. You can buy Solnic on Phantom, brother. Download Phantom Wallet. Send in Solana or buy Solana on Phantom Wallet. Swap it directly on the app. It's that easy. I would die for Solnic. Is Rose Oasis? Yes. What do you think about Ondo? Ondo's okay. Ondo is card changing money, right? If you think you're going to invest $76 into Ondo and you're going to retire your lineage, no. If you invest $7,000 into Ondo, you might be able to upgrade your Toyota Camry to a Lexus. Right? That's the reasonable... That's the reasonable expectation. Like a 3x, 3, 4, 5x, somewhere in that neighborhood. Can you say how to buy Solnic again? Okay, here's the easiest way. You can join the Telegram, the free public Telegram, and the trusted agents will help you out. But you're going to download Phantom. It's a purple app. Okay? You're going to download Phantom. You're going to buy Solana. Wherever you buy Solana, you're going to buy Solana. And you're going to send the Solana to Phantom. Okay? Once it is in your Phantom wallet, you are then going to swap. Natively on the app. There's going to be 2 arrows that look like this. They'll look like this, and they'll look like this. That's your swap button. You're going to press that button. You will swap Solana to Solnic. That's it. Lunch changing money. There you go. That's how you do it. Once you do it one time, it's not going to be... You'll see what I'm talking about. It's not that deep. Ardrum is just like Sui. Card changing money. $110K. Listen, I'm telling y'all, the difference between 110 and 118 is going to be not that long. I'm telling you right now. Lunch changing money is diabolical. Is ADA card changing money? ADA to me is more than card changing money. ADA might be, I don't know. ADA might be house changing money. So what is the best Bitcoin to buy? There's only one Bitcoin. It says I'm printing right now. Is Caspa lunch? I think Caspa's solid. What about Whiff? Here comes Bullback. What are you saying, Flip? Hee Hee Crow or... Can somebody send out a search party for Jamal? He's gone missing. You hate to see it. Is Dot changing money? I think Dot's a solid play here. Bitcoin just hit a new all-time high. 110, y'all. Officially. Come on now. Ye of little faith. Come on. Video evidence. Go look at my videos. Documented. April 7th, 2025. I made a video. Bitcoin was $74,400. I said the bottom's in, boys. The next stop is 100K at the sign of strength. We're going to chop for a little bit and go to 118. Come on now. Come on. Is Pepe card changing? Pepe's card changing money. See, listen. Here's how to win. Like, you got to be okay. You got to be okay with card changing money. Stack card changing money. That's okay, right? Don't be... Oh, all right. Let me give you guys the formula how to play this game. Let me tell you guys how to play game, all right? Let me put you on some game, okay? Here's how to play the game. Here's how to play the game. All right? I'm going to give you some free game. This is the type of stuff I teach. Let's say you buy X coin. Let's say you bought $1,000 worth of X coin. Okay? Here's how to play the game. The very first game is to get this back. We're going to get this back. Okay? So what do? X coin goes up a 1x. AKA, what is a 1x? 1x equals 100%. So let's say X coin was $1. Now X coin is $2. Okay? You have doubled your money. Your $1,000 is now worth $2,000. I'm going to take 20%, 10 to 20% off the table, depending on where we're at. Let's just call it 20%. So you're going to take 200. No, you're going to take 400. Excuse me. All right? You are now 40% out of the game of your initial money. You're now only 60% risk. Okay, now let's say X coin does another 1x. Let's say it goes to $3. We're going to go ahead and take another 20%. Okay? I don't know what that is. You would have let's see. This is Mapkin Math. Okay. So you had 2,000, you subtracted 400. You got 1,600. And then you went up another 100%. That should be 2,500. We'll call it 2,500, right? Let's say your bag's now worth 2,500. Whatever. Now you're going to take 0.2% of that. Boom, $500. You're out of the game. 2X's, you have recouped your money. Basically, you're 90% out of the game. You could go ahead and make it nice and even and just take 600. Okay? Whatever. You're out of the game. You're now playing the game risk-free. You have no more risk. Okay? So now what do? Now, you are at bat. Imagine a scenario with me. All right? Imagine a scenario with me, ladies and gentlemen. You are at bat. It is the World Series. It's the bottom of the ninth. The bases are loaded. Three balls, 2 strikes. You hit a grand slam. What do you get? You get 4 runs. You win the World Series. Okay. Now, in crypto, though, the maximum is not 4 runs. And if we've already removed risk, right? We already removed risk. The house money is back at the house. We have removed risk. What does that mean now? We are playing the game risk-free. What does that mean? We cannot strike out anymore. Bottom of the ninth. World Series, bases are loaded. We have 1,000 strikes. Also, a grand slam in crypto is not 4 runs. A grand slam in crypto is 400 runs, 40 runs, 4 runs, 500 runs. I don't know. There's no limit, though. In this game, you want to set up as many risk-free grand slams as you can possibly set up. That's how you play the game. Will you sell all? You sell all at the bottom and buy at the top, you lose profits. Yeah, don't do that. Don't do that. That's why you DCA. Solnic ROI, Bitcoin. Yeah, literally. Solnic is my number 1 100x play, period. Yo, Ski, what's good? Besides your singing. So the macro retracement for Rose is 38 cents, but the conservative would be 11 cents. That's like take a little bit of risk off the table as 11 cents. Bitcoin just hit an all-time high. And I'm standing here unfazed. I'm standing here unfazed. Why? Because we told you this was going to happen April 7th, 2025. I told you April 8th. I told you April 9th. I told you April 10th. I told you May 10th. I told you May 15th. I told you May 20th. I gave you guys the answers to the test. Ye of little faith. Ye of little faith. They're like, Ski, we know you called 8 bottoms on the day, video evidence, but what have you done for me lately? What have you done for me lately, Ski? You guessed and got lucky, bro. How many times do I need to guess and get lucky before I'm not lucky? How many times, Nelly? Thank you for giving me the opportunity to brag upon myself. April 7th, 2025, I said the bottom is in. We're not going lower. I also said Bitcoin would reach 118,000 before it reached 70,000 or I would shave my beard. Video evidence documented. August 5th, 2025, Bitcoin was at $49,000. I said the bottom's in, we're not going lower. In fact, I will shave my beard if we do not reach 80K by Christmas. The real number's 100K. Video evidence documented. Germany, Mt. Gox. Bitcoin pulls back to 53K. July 5th, 2024. I said the local bottom's in. We didn't make a new low for 45 days. The war in Israel. Bitcoin pulled back to 25K. I said the bottom's in. Here's XYZ why the bottom's in. And I even put it out to the community. I said, I want you to think about this moment. I want you to write down exactly how you felt, because this is what a bottom feels like. And I even said we would reach 48K by the end of the year, or I would shave my face and my head and my cat. What do we do? Come on now. Come on now. Silicon Valley Bank. Bitcoin pulls back from 25K back to 20K. Video evidence documented. I said the bottom's in. We're not going lower. I will shave my head if we go lower. FTX went to zero. On the day, November 8th, 2022, I said the bottom is in. Here is XYZ. I will shave my head if we go lower. Come on now. How many times do I got to get it right before it ain't luck? Let me know, and let me know. That way I'm tracking. You let me know so I'm tracking. How many times I need to do this before I'm not lucky? Ski, with today's timestamp, VeChain or Rose better risk reward? I think VeChain has more guaranteed. I think Rose has more potential. Thoughts on William Watson saying no Altseason due to ETFs? William Watson sold at 74K. I think William Watson is perhaps the best in the game at giving news. Are you long Bitcoin? I'm long Bitcoin. I'm long Ethereum. I'm long everything. I'm long Aave. What's my Aave trade at? Come on now, y'all. You don't need crazy life. You don't need crazy leverage to get crazy life-changing gains. Verily, verily, I say unto you. What's my bro? I'm in a long on VeChain. I'm up 154%. 3x. I'm on a long on Kave. I'm in a long on 8A. Up 74%. 3x leverage. Where's my Aave? I'm up 276% on 3x leverage on Aave. Come on now. I'm going to send this to the Telegram, because y'all think I'm BSing. Come on now. Bro, I put my money where my mouth is. I'm not just speaking Japanese up here, okay? 3x long. 3x, not 30x, not 300x. I don't just speak Japanese up here. You want to invalidate his TA so bad? Listen, I don't need to. You sell at 74K. I'm long on Chipotle. I think he's the best in the game at delivering news. It seems like a Bitcoin bull run and not a crypto bull run. That's right, because it's went full circle. The unknown. It has went full circle. People talk out of both sides of their mouth. 4-year cycle's over. See you in 4 years. If the 4-year cycle is really over, this is what I've been saying for months. This is what it means. Distribution. Markdown, accumulation. This is where we are. Bitcoin needs to rise. The sun needs to rise. That's right. Let's look at Bitcoin dominance. I want to show you because okay. We already brought this up earlier, but I'm going to go in a little bit more on this. All right. So on the top is Bitcoin dominance. This is December of 2020. All right. That was the peak of Bitcoin dominance. On the bottom is Bitcoin. And I have circled the same date. I have the same date circled. And I want you to see Bitcoin was just barely making an all-time high. This was all about Bitcoin. This was from the C19 crash to here was all about Bitcoin. It was a Bitcoin run, not a bull run. Same thing. These are the same dates. From the C19 crash to right here was all about Bitcoin. All right? That's when Bitcoin topped. Bitcoin continued to rise. This is when Altseason started. Thanks for the tiny diny. Thanks for the roses, you savages.
But the cream will rise to the top. Oh, yeah.
Will institutions not leave us and alts behind? Is there not? Listen, people view institutions like they're the suits, right? They're responsible, and I got a guy for that. My 401k, I got a guy for that. He handles all of that. Listen, your guy is a degenerate gambler just like you. What's the difference between Wall Street and you? They wear a suit and tie. How did the 2008 financial crisis happen? Because they are degenerate gamblers too. Like this idea, ETFs equals no alt season. They ruined it. As if Solana ETF is not about to be approved. As if the ADA ETF is not about to be approved. As if the XRP ETF is not about to be approved. It's like, my God, it's like that meme where you just pull out the thing. Institutions ruined alt season. 4-year cycle. Like, come on. Come on. Come on now. Mass adoption triggers alt season. You know what triggers euphoria? All-time highs. That's it. Retail was asleep at the wheel. This was, I said, this is disbelief. I've been saying it for weeks. This is disbelief. What alts you buy? My top 100x play is Solnic. I have a whole list of values that I like. I like VeChain here. I like ADA here. I like Rose here. I like Link here. I like NTC looks pretty good here. I like ICP, Shiba, Dent, VeChain, Naka, Yoda, Flux, Theta, Krill, Suki, Raven, Dynex, Dot, LCX, Sauce, He. Here's the deal. Don't take advice from me. Maybe like that, those are starting points, and go look at the white paper and read about the community, read about the project, and see if it resonates with you. Right? Here's the number one place you should look though. Price equals supply plus demand. Make sure they're not dumping supply on your head. If they are dumping supply on your head, they might be curing cancer. They might be walking on water, turning water to wine, helping deliver all the presents to the orphans. If they're dumping supply on your head, it's not a good investment. How can you check that? You can check that very easily by going to CoinMarketCap, looking at any project, looking at the market cap, and looking at the FDV. Filecoin is an example. A bad example. Right? You want the market cap and the FDV to be in the same flavor. The same flavor to me is about 40%. If it's more than 40% of a discrepancy, they're dumping supply. Filecoin is dumping supply. Let me show you what a good example looks like. Every analysis should start there. What is the tokenomics? Because price equals supply plus demand. Price equals supply plus demand. So everywhere you start should start with the supply. Okay, let's look at Bitcoin. Market cap, 2.17 trillion. FDV, 2.3 trillion. That's the same flavor. That's what you're looking for. Thanks for the hat and mustache. Yeehaw!
But the cream will rise to the top. Oh, yeah.
What's next? Bitcoin hit, dips, 2%, alts dip. Ryan, you know what you call that? You call that disbelief, brother. You call that disbelief. That's what we call that. Disbelief. I don't believe this. All-time high, ski. Bitcoin's going to dip 2%. Alts will get crushed 50%. I told you where dominance is at. It's on phase C. What is phase C? Distribution. How did I know that the bottom was in for Bitcoin? Because of accumulation. Accumulation is the bottom. Selling climax, secondary test in phase B goes lower. The spring goes lower than the secondary test. That is literally textbook. No, actually, literally textbook. Here's the text, class. Turn your pages to page 207. This will be on your final report card. Selling climax. Secondary test in phase B goes lower than the selling climax. Spring goes lower than the secondary test. What do traders do? They're like, aha, see, downtrend, we're cooked. Wrong. Wrong. If you're wrong, I'm long. Come on now. It's textbook. How did I know that this was the bottom? Because of accumulation. What is dominance doing? The opposite of accumulation. What is the opposite of accumulation? Distribution. And if there's accumulation has a downtrend, well, traders are like, see, uptrend, we're cooked. Buying climax. Upthrust textbook goes lower than the buying climax. All right, let's see. Where's the text? Turn your page to 208, class. 208. Buying climax. Automatic reaction. That is phase A. All right, let's check it out. What do we got? Buying climax. Automatic reaction. Secondary test. Okay, phase A. Okay, wait a minute now. Upthrust goes where? Higher than the buying climax. Does it go lower? Higher than the buying climax. Upthrust goes higher than the buying climax. Okay. Phase B. All right. Phase B. Phase C now. Let's see. Phase C. UTAD goes higher than the upthrust. UTAD goes higher than the upthrust. Why has Bitcoin been pulling back 2%? And the alts have been pulling back 50. Like, what are you holding that's pulling back 50%? Come on now. Let's call it 10%. Because it was at the spring. What is the spring in accumulation? The spring is the worst of it. The spring is C19. That's what the spring is. The spring is FTX goes to zero. The worst of it. So what is the UTAD? It's the opposite. All right, so where are we? What do we have? You have a plunge. Okay, we got a plunge. You have a move up to the retracement. What is the retracement? The 618 or the 702? We are right here. We are right here. That's where we are. Right there. What would be confirmation? A lower low to 62%. Come on now. Also, what happened to the one-up guy? Bro, I haven't seen him since 80K. He was here faithfully at 78K, at 80K. I have not seen him since we were about 85K. He was here faithfully. So you're saying that was Bitcoin top? No, I'm talking about Bitcoin dominance. Bitcoin dominance measures the percentage of the market that is invested into Bitcoin. What do we need? Listen, there are two stipulations for altcoin season. You must have Bitcoin making an all-time high. Check. Then Bitcoin simultaneously at the same time must be falling. That's not a check yet, but I'm telling you that the formula, the ingredients are there. You have sugar, spice, everything nice. The ingredients are there. Target for Bitcoin dominance. Okay, there we go. He's been on a long vacation. My target's to like peak euphoria. My next target, okay, my micro target is 62% would be confirmation. Okay, that's confirmation that, hey, that was the spring. That was the UTAD, right? But long term, like the peak euphoria, my target is low 50s, high 40s. That's where I think we're getting to. Where's the others in Wyckoff? Great. See, now you guys are asking the right questions. It's in the sign of strength. Also, this is the same thing. This is the sign of strength. So you have accumulation, your sign of strength, back test, move higher, back test again. This is the same thing that Bitcoin did in 2013. The next phase is starting the mark E. See, that's the right question, Mosey. Come on now. I'm out of agua. All right, listen, what time is it? Oh. All right, I got baseball. This is my kid's last baseball game. All right, make sure you guys like, subscribe. Follow me on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, Twitch. I go live every single day. I'm coming at you. By the way, my brother, shout out to my brother. He already had his last day of school. His graduation is this Sunday. I'm picking him up. His party's on the 30th. I'm picking him up. We're coming back here, and he's going to be helping me do content. He's going to be helping me behind the scenes with editing, thumbnails, graphics, production, all the stuff behind the scenes for the crypto channel. If you thought one ski was a lot, wait till we have two. Come on now. If you thought one ski was a lot, wait till we got two. And then he'll be doing a lot of the front stuff on the sports channel. So if you like sports, you can follow the skis sports. But I'll be live tomorrow, 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. Central Time. I will also be live with Alex in the morning. So that's going to be 9 a.m. to 10:30. He has something on Friday. We're going to do a live stream together. I'm leaving to go to his graduation this weekend, but I have the entire solar system set up. So I'll be able to live stream wherever, whenever, however. But I upload every single day. I upload shorts, 5 shorts a day. I upload one 10 to 20 minute video a day. I go live 6 days a week. And I'll put my track record against anybody, period. I did not stutter. But that's going to be it for this time. Charlene, thanks for becoming a member at the buzzer, you savage.
But the cream will rise to the top. Oh, yeah.
All right, that's going to be it for this time. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, follow me on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, Twitch. I will never message you first. Those are scammers. I have nothing to sell you. I am not going to message you and say, thank you for calling ATH Ski. That's not me. That's somebody in Pakistan or Kazakhstan. It's not me. I love you, but I'm not going to message you. All right? If you message me, I'll message you back, but I won't message you first. I'm not going to ask you about your trading. I promise. All right. Peace, love, prosperity. God first. God bless. Shalom.
Damn, hustling.